that you have already learned about angles. So what obtuse angles are, and acute angles are, and right angles. So with your arms, please show me what an obtuse angle would look like. Oh, I see some big obtuse angles, definitely some big obtuse angles. Now show me an acute angle. All right, I noticed that your angles are now closer together. Some of you are over to the side, some of you are like this, some of you are using your hands. All right, show me a right angle.
It's hard.
A right
I almost know
angle.
all of it. It's hard to make it perfect.
Yeah, it is a little hard to make it perfect, but a right angle, what would it look like if I did it?
It's just all even
like
this.
Yep, straight up and down. All right, thank you, Jeremiah. If you could put that down and join the group, that would be great, but that was a great example of a right angle. So straight up and down, straight over to the side, that's a right angle. Well, today we are going to learn a little bit more about angles. And we are going to be looking at measuring angles. Now, I know you all have probably heard about a 360 in snowboarding or skateboarding. It's like a trick. It's really hard. You've heard of it, Maddie?
It's not that hard. It's really completely.
So I have a video here of a snowboard 360. And I want you to look at what this snowboarder does. And I want you to watch the very front. I want you to watch the very front of, how about you read the very front of the snowboarder, and watch the tip of his snowboard as he does this trick.
Where is this? I think he'll come over the jump.
Here he goes. Watch him. And it goes all the way around, and the front lands back right in the front. We're going to watch that one more time.
Watch it.
So watch the very tip of his snowboard. He goes up, he spins all the way around, and he lands. And the front of the snowboard is again in the very front.
We watched the whole thing.
No.
But 360 in the Olympics.
So a 360 is when they do a turn, and the front of theirs, it's a full circle. Now the reason they call it a 360
it's because you rotate 60 degrees.
is there's
You measure
360.
angles by degrees.
Oh, thank you, Grant. So we have 360 degrees in a circle.
But a circle doesn't have an angle.
Oh, circles don't have angles, right.
Well, they do have really, really, really tiny ones.
So if we look at angles, we pretend that they're part of a circle. That they're just pieces of a circle. Great point, Skylar. Thank you. So we're going to learn how to measure angles using degrees. Now remember, there's 360 degrees all the way around in a circle, and the angles are different parts within that circle. So I'm going to turn on the iPad over here, and we are going to look at the measuring instruments that we use. We're going to look at the measuring instruments that we use to measure angles. All right, let's put this on iPad mode. Oh, and we're up.
Here's on Mitchell. It's too zoomed in.
It is.
Too zoomed in. You need to just do this. Oh, hi, Sam.
Okay, so what we are going to look at,
Here, do this.
there it is. There it is.
But it's still zoomed out.
It is zoomed out pretty far. That's interesting. So one of the things we are going to look at is this protractor right here. This is called a protractor.
There you go.
And on the protractor, what we see is the different degrees that we can measure
Oh, I know.
with the angles.
I know how to fix that. I know how to fix that.
So what we're seeing is that this angle right here, if this is the very bottom of the angle, then we line up the side of the angle and it tells us what the degree is. So if I look right here, this angle right here is a 90-degree angle. Do you see how it's lined up nice and straight with this? Now if my angle was an acute angle,
It'd be smaller than
It'd be a little bit smaller, and it's smaller than 90. So this particular angle is 50 degrees. You can see it right there. Oh, actually, Ken, wait till I'm done teaching you. All right, so if it's an obtuse angle, it's going to be greater than 90 degrees. And we're looking at, so what is this one right here? How big is that? Lucy?
It's 80 degrees. No, it's
That's a little hard to see.
120 degrees.
Yeah,
It's
120 degrees. Yeah, it's 120 degrees. We are putting the protractor at the very bottom of the angle. We line it up down here, and we look at where the arm of the angle extends. And we line it up and measure from there. So I have some examples. Right here are some angles. Let's move those over so they're in focus. There we go. I have this first angle right here. Now this is a protractor, and it's what we use to measure the angles. So I'm going to put the very...
It's like 50 to 60.
You think? Why do you say that?
Well, because it's smaller than 90, but isn't too far smaller.
Oh, okay. So you're saying it's an acute
I think
angle?
it'll be between 70 and 80.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look. I need all of my fourth graders sitting up, please. Sitting up, please. Cannon. Matthew. Matt. Skylar, go ahead and sit up. Thank you.
I think it's going to be 77.
All right. Let's find out. So I put. Do you see how there's like a little X down here? I line that up with right here, and then I look to see. I follow it up, and what is it?
70.
70 degrees.
I was
You
really
guys were
close.
really close. All right, let's look at this next one. What kind of angle is this one?
Obtuse.
Obtuse. So is it going to be greater than or less than or equal to 90 degrees?
Bigger. It's greater than.
Okay, let's find out. So I line up the bottom down here.
From 140. I got it right.
What is it?
140.
140. Okay, now I have a question for you. These angles are the opposite side of the ones we just looked at. So here are the ones that we just looked at, and they're opening up this way.
The top is the...
And these angles are opening up the opposite way.
They're the same thing. They're just
So if I'm looking at this,
70. No, it's
is
70.
this 110 degrees?
No, it's 70.
Why is it? How do you know it's not 110 degrees?
Because it's facing
Oh,
the...
Maddie?
So, if it kind of, like if the 90, if the lower if it's an acute angle and the lower numbers are towards the acute angle,
Oh.
it's,
So you're saying that you know it's an acute angle,
yeah.
and you know that acute angles are less than 90, right? That's what you're saying? So it can't be 110 degrees, because that's not less than 90. Okay, so we use the top one then. So it would be 70 degrees. Oh, interesting. Matt, come join us, please. Thank you.
90 degrees. 90
Yeah,
degrees.
Why do you think it's 90 degrees?
Because it's straight up and it's
Yeah,
sideways.
why do you think it's 90 degrees?
Well, it's because it's just the same, but also with the other one,
Mhm.
it's exactly the same. It's just flipped over. If you had if you had 70 degrees on this side, it'd be the same as it on this.
You're right.
It's like a flip thing, but you don't have to flip it.
Yeah, you don't have to flip it. It is exactly 90 degrees. Oh my goodness, you are definitely ready to practice this. On your desk, you will see a worksheet. The first page of the worksheet, you will find a worksheet and a protractor. The first page of the worksheet will look something like this. It says, what's my angle? You are going to describe what that angle looks like, where it says angle and then a blank. Is it obtuse, acute, or right angle?
That's a line.
It is a line, so what would it be?
It's 180.
It's 180. It would be obtuse, you're right. And then you are going to draw, right, the degrees. Oh, friends, I need your attention back here, please. Thank you. Yep, all right, so we have some confusion about this one. I'll show you. If I line it up right here,
It's 180.
it's 180 degrees. See, I lined this up, and it comes all the way out. to 180.
Can you get one of those?
Yes, you will have a protector on your desk.
Okay.
And you are going to write the number of degrees. You are going to need one because I cannot look at this one and tell exactly what it is. I can guess, but not exactly. So you will need a protractor. Lucy, have a seat. Hold on a second. Thank you. All right. When you are done, on the back, you will see a whole bunch of angles that look something like this. A whole bunch of triangles. I see an angle in here, I see an angle in here, I see an angle in here, I see an angle in here. You are going to go through and you are going to measure all of the angles. But, oh, it's so much fun. Look at all the angles I get to measure. Oh, Jeremiah says he sees an obtuse. And guess what? On the other side, we see a acute. Does anyone see a right angle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I do. Yes.
That's triangle.
All right, back to you.
Tuesdays, 1
And 2. And 1.
and 3.
And 0. Thank you very much. I'm at 0. I need you back with me, please. Thank you.
There's no right angle.
Jeremiah?
There isn't any right angle. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know. That's why we have to measure. Let's find out to see if there are any.
is a right angle. Yeah, it's a right angle.
Let's see if there are any right angles. So that is your task. You're going to go back. You may work with your face partners to do this.
You have to. No.
You may choose to
But what if your partner does?
do the first side with your face partner.
What?
Do the first side with your face partner. And if you feel like you've got it, you and your face partner may decide to work independently on the back side. Question, Jelena?
On the back side, do you have to write the degrees?
The degrees? Yes.
What?
Yep.
That'll take years.
It will take years. I believe in you.
No, you
All right,
don't.
back to your desks in 5.